The question on the Article 370, should it be abolished or not? So Article 370, full integration of the Kashmir has not happened with India. Right argument in the favor of this. So why it is believed that Article 370 prevent the full integration of Kashmir with India? The argument is in the Article 370 has been of temporary in nature. The member of the Jammu and Kashmir is in the Constituent Assembly did not insist on making it a special provision. So member of Jammu and Kashmir in the Constituent Assembly did not insist on making a special provision. There has been a petition in the Supreme Court. For example, Sampath versus Union of India, Sampath versus Union of India, Puran Lal Lakpan case, and recently filed in a Vijay Lakshmi Jha. So Puran Lal Lakshman case recently filed in the Vijay Lakshmi Jha. According to the petitioners, it was a representative, it was a temporary provision which ended like a work of Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir is over. So according to the petitioner, it was a representative, it was a temporary provision which ended after the Constituent Assembly of the Jammu and Kashmir is over. So there has been bigger problem primarily because of the Article 35A. Article 35A emerges of the because of the Article 371 clause D. So Article 35A emerges because of the Article 371 clause, subclause 1D. So as per the Article 35A, Jammu and Kashmir has a special provision with respect to citizenship. It prevents the people from outside the state acquiring territory in the Jammu and Kashmir. It also prevents the Jammu and Kashmir women marrying outside in Kashmir. Earlier, women would lose the share in the property. So women marrying outside Jammu and Kashmir would lose their share in the property. So recently, Sushila Sahani, Jammu and Kashmir High Court had accepted that women will not lose rights as a subject, but the children of such women will not be getting share in the property. So women won't lose the right as a subject, but children of such women will not get the share in the property. So Article 35A will ensure the democracy of the Kashmir. The democracy of the Kashmir was demography of the Kashmir. And once demography changes, the people from other parts of the country go and settle there. They will become voters. And Article 35A has not been with good intention and has not been in the favor of India. And India side will always having its own calculation that gradually we will integrate Kashmir with India. Sheikh Abdullah was also be blamed because he never wanted complete integration. It is desirable to repeal Article 370. Though it is proposed that Article 370 should be repealed, Jammu and Kashmir become normal state like any other state. However, such first, legally speaking, it is not possible. As per the Article 370, it can be repealed only by the recommendation of the Constituent Assembly of the Jammu and Kashmir. So long as the Constituent Assembly existed, it did not go for the requirement. It did not recommend any changes in its status. It did not even recommend special status. Assembly wanted Article 370 should be a permanent form of relation. Even Supreme Court clarified from the time to time that it is not a temporary provision. It's Sampath Prakash versus Puran Lal Lakhanpal Vijay Lakshmi Jha. Sampath Prakash Puran Lal Lakhanpal Vijay Lakshmi Jha. Prem Nath Kaul versus Jammu and Kashmir has held that Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir is a final authority to determine what type of relation it will have with the Union. So Premlal Kaul versus Union Jammu and Kashmir has held that Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir is a final authority to determine what kind of relation it will have with Union. So it will go by report of the interlocutors appointed by previous government. So the real grievance in Jammu and Kashmir is that of Government of India has not respected the spirit of Article 370, the spirit of autonomy. There has been a continuous intervention by the New Delhi by misusing the intervention. The people want the revision of the central law exercised by the government of the Delhi by manipulating the institution of governor. So people want revision of the central law that is extended by the government of the Delhi by manipulating the institution of governor. So greater autonomy rather than less autonomy should be approached. Greater autonomy rather than less autonomy should be approached according to some expert. Professional Amitabh Mattu. According to him, instead of repealing Article 370 with respect to Jammu and Kashmir, similar type of autonomy should be extended to all the states. In the reality, good governance requires the devolution of the power. Government of New Delhi and government of states should develop trust, and people want to go because they want that their aspiration are not met. What is the issue with the Article 35A? It is a provision in the Indian Constitution but not mentioned in the Indian Constitution to determine who are the permanent citizen. It is a provision of the Indian Constitution but not mentioned in the Indian Constitution to determine who are the permanent citizen. It has come into existence because of Article 371 clause 1D. It was a part of the agreement between the Nehru and Sheikh Abdullah. So it was part of the agreement between Nehru and Sheikh Abdullah. It provides complete free hand to the legislature of the Jammu and Kashmir to determine who will be the citizen of Jammu and Kashmir and what are their rights. Only state in India which is having a dual citizenship, it also states that there will be no law made by the Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir can be challenged on the ground that it violates any of the provision of the Constitution or any other law. It is also held that no law made by the Legislative Jammu and Kashmir Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir can be challenged on the ground that it violates any of the provision of the other law. It was introduced by the Presidential Order of 1954 based on the Delhi Agreement of 1952. Based on the Delhi Agreement of 1952, it was launched by Presidential Order 1954. It is not mentioned in the Article 35A, but is maintained in Article 371D by Presidential Order. President can make any modification in the constitutional provision with respect to Jammu and Kashmir. Since it is only related to Jammu and Kashmir, there is no need to be added in the constitution. Why is the citizen? Who is the citizen in Jammu and Kashmir? Criteria is determined Dogra ruler of state. So the criteria was determined Dogra ruler of state in 1927 and 1932 to prevent the influx of the Sikh. All those person who born or settled in the Jammu and Kashmir before 1911 or required immovable property or at least 10 years before the 1911 will be treated as a citizen. Descendants of the person immigrate out of the Jammu and Kashmir. They will remain the state subject for the two generation. All the citizens from Jammu and Kashmir to Pak continues to be citizen of Jammu and Kashmir. Privilege of citizen. Non-citizen cannot acquire the immovable property. Only citizen will be eligible for the government job welfare scheme and security and scholarship scheme. Up till now, the Act is considered as a discriminatory in terms of gender. Partially addressing the Sushila Shahani case, women will not lose privilege in the case she married outside, but children will lose the privilege. What is the present status? No right to inheritance. There has been question mark on the legal validity of Article 35A. It is a contradiction to the right to equality. People of the Jammu and Kashmir can purchase a property. There has been question on the procedural aspect. Can President amend the Constitution on window? This particular agreement, they have been never got the approval of the Parliament. That is Article 371 give power. Procedural issue. Whether the President can amend the Constitution without the procedure of Article 368. Whether the President order whether the President order with the fact of the amending the Constitution can be enforced even without keeping its consideration of the Parliament. Matter is sub judice. PIL has been filed by an NGO citizen. So PIL has been filed by an NGO the citizen, and another petition is filed by Kashmiri woman Charu Wali Khanna, lawyer. She was a lawyer, and so we the citizen, NGO, and Kashmiri woman she filed the PIL and Puran Lal Laltan Lal case. Supreme Court has already ratified that they can modify the Constitution under Article. So President can modify the Constitution under Article 371D. Which question has not been settled whether the President can do so without the knowledge of the Parliament. So basically, they don't want the people belonging to other communities. Those who are not originally Kashmiri should stay out because the other people living in the area can claim the Kashmir as an independent state under Article 35A. So when the other people are there, they can claim the independence of the Kashmir. It has also included human rights. Hindus family migrated from Pakistan. It also included the Hindu family migrated from Pakistan at all the time of the partition. They do not enjoy citizenship status. They cannot. They contest in Lok Sabha election but not in the state election. Now, human rights violation in the Jammu and Kashmir in 2018. First time report published by United Nations Office of High Commissioner for the Human Rights Violation has brought the report of the violation of the human rights in the Jammu and Kashmir, including the POK and Gilgit-Baltistan. So, for 2018, for the first time, United Nations Office for High Commissioner for the Human Rights has brought a report on the violation of human rights in the Jammu and Kashmir, including POK and Gilgit-Baltistan. Why controversial? The report has 2 hours on India, as if all the violations are done by government of India. Structural violation. And for Pakistan, they focus on structural violation, lack of representative government. It is politically motivated report. Hizbul Mujahideen, simply called as an armed group, where according to the government of India, that is an internationally accepted terrorist organization. Hizbul Mujahideen. Now, Armed Forces Special Power Act, but army version, fighting in Kashmir without the protection is like kickbonging with your hands side. Armed Forces Special Power Act is very important because for army, it is very important. Without its protection, you are kicking